Crypto looks doomed. Perpetrated by some dude who had bank in his name. There's so many different people, entities impacted. Myself, big time personally. Today, I want to look at Voyager. Voyager Crypto, Invest Voyager, went bankrupt over the last year. Only several months ago, really. FTX bought them, or was in the process of doing so. Here's what happened and where this goes next. Because still a lot of people have a lot of funds tied up there, and there might actually be some light at the end of the tunnel for Voyager users. Maybe. My name is Vosk. You're on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. From the official Voyager Twitter account, Voyagers, in light of recent events and reports regarding FTX US, which SBF Sam Bankman-Fried said that they were solvent, had funds, this and that, and then apparently they were hacked, things siphoned out, they filed bankruptcy in conjunction with FTX. Whole lot of drama, whole lot of craziness. We have several videos trying to break all this stuff down, and it's still convoluted. Okay, but the point here is that they're going to keep on moving on, restart basically with the reorganization efforts. So looking at some of these comments, people are thinking 50% is the low end right now for potential Voyager payouts. We see some hopeful comments for maybe 70% of their funds. Prorated, right? Let's say you had $100,000 in there. Hopefully, with the way this goes, you'd be getting $70,000 out. Obviously, the situation sucks, but $70,000 out of 100 is a whole lot better than nothing. They tried to get you to invest with them from the beginning. They put it in the website URL, Invest Voyager. And that's not financial advice. I actually recommend against it, obviously. They paused transactions, then they went bankrupt. Right? Chapter 11. This was a cryptocurrency trading app. They offered yield, commission-free star, okay? A fiat gateway. Turn your dollars into cryptocurrency here. They even had a debit card. With that, they can basically function as your bank. Some ways you're able to spend your money, you could even get 9% rewards. All about building your wealth with up to 12% annual rewards. Beat your bank by earning top rewards each month on 39 digital assets with no lockups. But my bank has never taken my funds from me. Not like this. It all sounds great on the front. And that's how so many people were pulled in by this stuff. They had licenses. They had some regulation. They had an office location in the US. But that's not enough. They have a page about security and financial freedom, publicly traded, licensed, and regulated, advanced fraud protection, and cash was eligible for FDIC insurance held by their banking partner, which covered up to $250,000 as typical with FDIC insurance, or so they claimed. These are their founders. Don't forget their names, don't forget their faces. These are their partners. Some big names here. BitGo, Coinbase, Silvergate, AWS, Galaxy Digital, Circle, Plaid, Ledger. I mean, there's a difference with a partner from, connecting it with your bank account and being an investor, right? Very big difference there. Speaking of team pages, not to forget, turns out a lot of people overlook this. BlockFi, who's basically dealing with a similar issue, hopefully they don't go bankrupt. Be devastating for me, among many others. But they deleted their team page. This is their team page, along with how much money you can take out in yellow. I've got a whole video on BlockFi, what the hell is going on and where we may be going with this. So check that one out. I'll link it out down in the video description below. But moving forward, right, on July 5th, 2022, Voyager and 2 affiliated debtors filed voluntary petitions for relief under Chapter 11 U.S. Bankruptcy Code. This case, United States Bankruptcy Court, Southern District of New York. Those 3 debtors, Voyager Digital Holdings Inc., Voyager Digital Limited, Voyager Digital LLC. Here's what you need to know. FTX which has now come out as the biggest Ponzi scheme the human race has ever seen. They won crypto lender Voyager Digital's assets in a $1.42 billion bid at auction in September, months after the lender spurned an earlier proposal and called it a lowball bid dressed up as a white knight rescue. Just a few days ago, again, they reopened their bidding process for the company, and unfortunately, they lost another $3 million with funds that were stuck on FTX, which has now filed for their own bankruptcy. This is all pretty crazy. It was previously believed that customers of Voyager Digital could recover 72% of their funds if the FTX sale was approved. It's not ideal, but again, not the worst case. This has all gone up in smoke now and completely irrelevant. This was a $1.4 billion deal, and FTX US was supposed to be more heavily regulated. FTX US was supposed to actually have assets, but it turns out they were bidding with money they didn't even have, and what money they did have was most likely customer funds. So much for SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, more like scam, bank run, fraud. Driving a Corolla? This dude lived in a $40 million penthouse in the Bahamas. And apparently they were all nailing each other there and high on drugs. How did everyone miss this? Just absolutely blows my mind. An interesting note on the acquisition, or now failed acquisition, with FTX and Voyager is that, per this tweet, information coming to light, the FTX in the acquisition and bankruptcy process sought to nullify the creditor claim Voyager had over FTX. This further supports FTX's interest in buying them because they can basically hide their debt and buy them with money they didn't even have and make this go away. This is also a bad scenario for Voyager customers and just Voyager in general, because FTX is bankrupt and they don't have half as much money as they're supposed to have, which makes it that much more difficult for Voyager to try to reclaim any of those funds. The Voyager UCC on Twitter, which claims to be the official committee of unsecured creditors, they posted that they want to make it clear that the FTX Voyager transaction has not been consummated. That Voyager has not transferred any crypto or assets to FTX in connection with the transaction. The UCC will take all steps necessary to protect creditors' interest, and they're evaluating all options. The plot thickens, but probably maybe in a good way for Voyager. And that's based on the rumors of Binance US, which is, obviously really just Binance, because we see these US side companies, in best case and worst case scenario, will pool from the same funds. Hopefully this time not customer assets. And they will rise together and they will fall together. But my point here being, Binance US to be technical, planning to acquire bankrupt crypto lender Voyager, who had planned to be bailed out by FTX. What I worry about is CZ and Binance the next SBF and FTX, or are CZ and Binance what SBF wanted to be, dreamed to be, masqueraded as, LARPed as? Can CZ really cash these checks? Obviously we know SBF couldn't. But for all just absolutely crippled Voyager users, investors, I don't care about the higher ups, none of that. I care about the average crypto user and enthusiast. I hope that this works out for them. I hope they get this. And I hope that they get a favorable resolution. In a perfect world, I dream that they get 100% of their funds back. That would be incredible for them. I never really used Voyager. And because of that, and being caught up with so many other things and projects, I never paid too much attention to it other than just overall what happened and where is it going, right? And I thought that Celsius looked pretty bad from the middle, at least. And I removed all my funds from there, and I did not recommend it. I recommended against it. It didn't impact me personally, and I just didn't fully see the severity of the people that were caught in that. FTX US did negatively impact me. FTX is negatively impacted Voskcoin. And BlockFi, in their situation, that is likely to be, or I should say, I don't want to, just manifest it. Possibly be basically the next Voyager, the next crypto lender to go bankrupt. It's devastating. It's overwhelming. I feel for people impacted by this more than ever. We all made mistakes by trusting these centralized entities. It sucks. I will never do anything like that again. I can't change that I did, and my funds are there, and it's the same thing for Voyager customers. My heart goes out to you if you're watching this and you're impacted on any of these fronts, whether it's with FTX, Voyager, BlockFi. We've never seen anything like this happen. The last time something like this happened was Mt. Gox, and probably almost everyone watching this didn't see that. Didn't experience that, didn't deal with that. I didn't deal with that personally. I know we say not your keys, not your coins and all that, but they were supposed to be regulated. They told about these investors, these partners, all these big names, all these deep pockets. They're middlemaning your money. It's like, well, if I'm making, say, 5%, they're probably making 10%. How can they lose with this scenario? If they don't make that, they shouldn't offer me that, right? I mean, there's so much more to it. I'm not trying to justify anything. My point is just that, FTX, Coinbase, Binance, they were all in the same sentence as the big boys, the infallible, the untouchable, the unstoppable forces in the crypto sector that we all thought grew too big to fail. But it shows that nothing is ever too big to fail. Granted, this was really a Ponzi scheme for many years. Somehow, that was all hidden. It's one of the biggest schemes. It is literally the biggest scheme in history. At least that wasn't directly government related, even though, of course, multiple governments are involved. So that's a scoop. That's what I got. The bad, the good, the ugly, whatever. My name is Vosker on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. Of course, I will never leave off our tradition here, 10 seconds of tales. Our CCO, our Chief Custody Officer, and she keeps barking at me every day. Not your keys, not your coins. Not your keys, not your coins. And we're just going to keep chanting that. And basically, if you're not going to custody your own crypto, you just shouldn't have it. You should just sit in your fiat currency in your bank account. That's where we're at. That's the motto. That's the mission moving forward. We'll pick up the pieces that we can and keep grinding. Please be kind to others. A lot of people are absolutely decimated by some of these events. It's not the time to say, I told you so. It's not the time to troll people. Be kind and pick people up, because a lot of these events will cause people to leave the crypto sector forever. And blockchain is incredible technology, and it was just misused this time. So I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.